Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back. Today for our storybook, we have Where the Wild Things Are. And on the cover, it says Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak. So he wrote the story and he drew the pictures in the book. And let's all remember to have our crowns in our laps, okay? It's not time for us to wear them yet, but I'll let you know when it's time. And before we get started, just by looking at the cover of the book, by looking at the picture and reading the title, what do we think the story is going to be about? Yeah, those are some good ideas. Okay, now that we've talked about the book, let's get started. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. Now let's pause for just a second because we already have one of our vocabulary words from this week. Now we have the word mischief. Can anybody remind me what the word mischief means? Yeah, it means trouble. So Max is getting into some trouble. And another chasing the dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And he was sent to bed without eating anything. That's no fun, going to bed without eating dinner. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. Look at him. He's very mischievous. He's laughing. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Doesn't even look like his room anymore, does it? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. What do we think is going to happen? Where do we think he's going to sail to? Yeah, that's a good guess. Let's keep reading to find out. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. So that's where he sailed to, where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Now we have another vocabulary word, so the word gnash. And remember, we talked about that yesterday. Can anybody remind me what gnashed means? Yeah, that's exactly it. It means that they're chomping, they're showing their teeth, they're trying to look scary. And what do we think is going to happen? Do we think Max is going to get scared? Does he look scared in the picture? Let's find out. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. So he's not scared at all. They're scared of him. And made him king of all wild things. So now it's time to get our crowns out. Okay, we're going to wear our crowns now and we're going to be kings and queens with Max of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." There's another word. Who can tell me what rumpus means? Yeah. It means they're gonna be loud. They're gonna make lots of noise and be so crazy. It's a rumpus. What does it look like they're doing in this picture? Yeah, it looks like they're dancing and howling at the moon. What about here? Yeah, it looks like they're playing in the forest and swinging from the branches, causing quite a rumpus. Yeah, it looks like they're stomping. Max is riding them, because remember, he's the king of all the wild things. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. So what do we think he's going to do now? He's feeling a little lonely, right? Yeah. What do you think's going to happen? That's a good guess. Let's find out. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. He said, "I don't want to be king anymore," right? And they can't follow after him, right? They're too big. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. It's nighttime now. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. Okay, now that we have read the book, let's talk a little bit about what happened in the book. Can anybody tell me the first important thing that happened in the book? Yeah, that's right. Max was causing a lot of trouble and got sent to his room. What happened next? Yep, a forest grew. And his room wasn't his room anymore, right? And what happened next? Yeah, he sailed and he went to where the wild things are, where he became king. Yes, and we're all kings and queens, remember? What else happened? Yes, they caused a rumpus. They made lots of noise and played all day. And then what happened? Yeah, that's right. He got lonely, so he didn't want to be king anymore, and he went home, where he had his dinner waiting for him. So after reading this book, what do you think the author wants us to think about? What do you think he wants to tell us through this book? Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So, he's trying to tell us that there's always somebody that loves us and cares about us, no matter how much trouble we cause, because we can all cause a little bit of trouble. But we always have our moms or our dads, grandmas, grandpas, somebody who loves us so very much. Thank you everybody for being such a good audience today, and I hope you enjoyed our book. So, let's move on to our next activity.